Hello everybody, Spencer here, also known as Lego Dude 11, and in today's video, this is my Fallout spoiler review, Season 1 spoiler review. So without further ado, let's discuss. Alright guys, so, like I said, this is my Fallout. This is a Season 1 spoiler review for Fallout. If you see anything on my hands, I do apologize. My friend painted my nails, so yes, this is what the college life brings you. My hands aren't painted for today, at any rate, and maybe tomorrow because I'm doing my Civil War spoiler review tomorrow. I'm going to see Civil War tomorrow, so very exciting stuff coming out. But anyway, Fallout. This is based off the video game Fallout, and there's a bunch of video games for the game There's a bunch of different versions of the game itself, and I've never played any of them. I've only played... Precursor, a little backstory. I'm not comparing the show to The Last of Us, but I have played Last of Us, and then I watched that show, which that show was awesome. Both, the game is fun, the game is really enjoyable, and then they made the show really great. And I love Max. I love HBO Max, more specifically HBO Max. I don't know why the name change is stupid. But this show... And I have a love-hate relationship with Prime. I think now, after watching Fallout, I like Prime more than Netflix, but that's another day. That's another story for another time. But this show, video game adaptations are on a high increase, or on an intake, which is really good. Really enjoy it. And what I'm going to get to later in the video, what makes this a great adaptation, even though I haven't played the game, but I want to kind of specify like what makes the show so good. So, getting into this thing... The score done by Ramin Djawadi. I was not expecting... Dude, I went into this... I'm saying dude like I'm talking to one person, but viewers, my people. Going into this, I didn't know who was doing the music. I always kind of get excited whoever's doing the music for a show or a specific movie. But I was like, watching the first episode, and I saw the credits start rolling, and I'm like, what? Ramin Djawadi? What? No way! If you don't know, that's who did the first Iron Man, the Marvel's Eternals film, and the entire Game of Thrones season, as well as House of the Dragon, which is the Game of Thrones spinoff. And now he's doing this. I was like, what? And more importantly, House of the Dragon Season 2 comes out this summer, so I'm like, I was blown away. I was like, what? He's gonna have two big shows this year, so it's good for him. I like the composer. And didn't he do something else recently? Maybe it's just the Eternals I'm thinking of. I don't know. But, I can look him up later, but I like the guy. I thought this score was incredible, especially all, like, the Western-type music, which is, like, what the feel of the show is. And there's also some Johnny Cash songs in there. There's, like, not 3 Inch Nail, three something. There's a band in there that always plays recurring songs, like, three Blind Eyes. I don't remember. But it's, one of those things, you know, recurring songs by band, and it's like very this Western type music, like there's Johnny Cash and then these other songs recurring, but it's great. I love the songs, love the score done by Ramin Djawadi, so good job. Love that was picked to do it. So, going into the nitty-gritty side of things, the thing I want to touch on first here, and by the way, I got Fallout pulled up on Prime back there, is the story of the company. First off, I want to put that in the back burner a little bit for just a second, because I need to talk about the cinematography. The entire show. Going in, watching the trailer, like I said, I've never played the games, but going into this trailer, I was like, damn, this show looks so good. Like The Last of Us, how it was shot, how it was presented, how it was given a show, like, compared from a video game, or taken from a video game adaptation and presented it into a live action show, not just like a animated show. I mean, you could do a lot with animation, but the way they did it was fantastic for Last of Us. And the way when I watched this trailer for Fallout, I was like, dang, they look like they have a good product on their hands, and they surely made a good product. Every time there was a shot, like a transition, there are flashbacks that I want to get to later, but specifically like a shot like in the distance, like panning or a tracking. Like, I'm learning these shots in video class, and it's so good. It's so good to watch this, like depth perception Oh my god, some of these shots are incredible, and I'm just like, can't get over it. Um, yeah, I don't know. I just every time there's something like a sunset or a character, specifically the big guy, the knights are flying. Oh, it's great. I'm just into it, and sometimes the panel, like in the vaults, like sometimes the vaults will move, and I'm just like, it's so good. So I'm sorry if you didn't want to hear that, but I'm like, it's so good sometimes, and I'm like, Ugh. So the cinematography gets me, and I love this a lot, like the way it's shot. Like if you guys will agree with me, some of the just shots are gorgeous to look at, and the story itself, there's a MacGuffin, and in this story, and I'm a fan of when shows do this, or when media does this, they take a MacGuffin to get to the end of the story. I'm trying to think in Last of Us what the MacGuffin was. I think it was just Ellie, right? But in this story, there's a girl and a guy, or there's the main guy who goes off with the knight, the one squire. The one knight dies, so he takes over the knight outfit, the knight armor. And then he joins Maximus, who pretends he's Knight Titus, joins Lucy. I almost said Ellie, that's Ella for now. Lucy on her mission, but that's a little bit later because Lucy. And by the way, the saving grace, the best part of this show is one of the villains, the ghouls. I'm kind of going all over the place, but the villain, the ghoul. Oh my god, I have to talk about that separately. But Ella Purnell, Lucy, she's on a mission to chop this guy's head off. She takes this head off this guy to go save her dad. And basically this head is the MacGuffin of the story, because if you lose his head, if you lose this one guy's head, this is an important part of the like end of life, like if you don't get this head to the destination, because all these factions are after this head. If you lose this head, you're done. Like you're gone. Like you're not even worth living anymore. So it's fascinating. Like I love a MacGuffin story. Like I don't like the Six Infinity Stones or the Horcruxes or things like that. Things you can pay attention. Like even Spider-Man No Way Home had to cure everybody. Like a certain MacGuffin type thing. And this isn't a stupid MacGuffin like in Mission Impossible 3 where it was the rabbit's foot. It was like, okay, that was irritating. But this actually makes a lot of sense, and by the end you're invested. Throughout the entire story you're invested. So I actually quite like that. Yeah, the story was great. The vaults, learning more about the vaults, and by the way, the flashbacks in this show. Can I get a round of applause to whoever made this show with the flashbacks? Oh my God, you're a godsend. You're a treasure, national treasure. Amen and hallelujah. Because I love shows and media that does this. Because I forget what I was watching recently. Oh no, it was Madam Web. But I said that Bob Marley did okay with their flashbacks, but this did even a better job than Bob Marley. This did where people shit on, and excuse my part of my French, but people were mad about Madam Web, rightfully so, because they did, and I watched it. Some people react to Madam Web, and I was like, these flashbacks are atrocious. But what you got in here is you have the 19. By the way, the show opens with, this is a spoiler review, so I'm going to spoil it for you. The main premise is the way that 200 years of evolution happened from a bomb explosion, a nuclear bomb, because you're talking about the atom bomb, but the nuclear bomb happens over California, and they have this place called Shady Sands, and you see Walton Goggins. Walton Goggins is the ghoul, but you see the opening montage or opening scene where he's talking with his daughter, and his wife's there. You see the explosion happening in the background, and it's just crazy. It's like so tense and it's scary, but it's just like what's going on, what's happening, and then you see the process happening, evolving. That Lucy wants to escape from the vault and go find her dad and all this stuff, and then we learn more, like, in these flashbacks about Walton Goggins, how he became the ghoul, like, how and why, and it's like, and we're learning more and more, and by, like, the end of the series, we're gonna learn, like, what's going to happen next, and I'll say a little bit more. But the ghouls are like, I'm sorry, like at the end we learn more about his wife specifically in the finale, but I want to get to that. By the way, there's this element in the show where I mentioned in Invincible where like it's like white and gray, and in this show I feel like there's a good sense of good characters, bad characters, and then middle characters, because I'll elaborate. We have Ella Purnell, who's Lucy. She's a good person. She's the good character. She's the hero. And then we have the knights, who want to help out, but they're kind of like this middle ground, like anti-hero. I don't know. And then we have this, and then we have like the Vault Dwellers, who are kind of like mischievous. And then we also have these people in the desert. For instance, there's this one doctor who's helping out one of the squires of Maximus, who's also calling himself Knight Titus. And this doctor guy, he's like, now everybody who's out here I've been killed by, right? So basically, he poisons the squire. Because he's like, I'll help you, I'll heal up your foot, but then it makes the squire turn into a ghoul, because he gets shot in the freaking neck. I'm like, holy crap. This show is insane. The gore in this show, by the way, guys, don't let your kids watch this show. The gore is unbelievable. But I'm like going, holy crap, this guy gets shot in the neck. And he's like, how am I not dead? I'm like, yeah. So it's just, it's crazy cleverly written, because there's like good characters, bad characters, and it's like good, the bad, and the ugly. That's how I essentially relate to it. It's like exactly like a Western, but in a video game. It's like the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because we have some ugly characters, not like ugly like either pretty. Like they look cool. Like the makeup is insane as well. I love the makeup, but the acting by Ella Purnell. We got some great acting by the Vault Dwellers. We actually have the guy who says in Spider-Man Homecoming, "Okay, Spider-Man, do a flip." That bearded guy who's also on the. Was it that guy? I swear it might be that guy. I'm pretty sure it is that guy, but that's the do a flip guy. And then we also have in one episode or two episodes Chris Parnell, who's Jerry with one eye. There was like this one vault with like deformed people, not deformed. I meant with people like there's this guy called Dr. Nose who had a nose on his forehead, some glowing eye, blue glowing eye person. Like I said, Chris Parnell had one eye. There was also Fred Armisen in like the penultimate episode, which was cool to see him. He played not Donkey Kong. He played Donkey Kong's dad in the Mario movie. So that was cool. So yeah, I love this show a lot. Like I said, the flashbacks were great. Everything happened. Now, before I get into the finale, I want to talk about my enjoyment. Oh, in the third episode, there was this big creature, like with fingers in the mouth. It was like, "Rah!" coming out of the water. I was like, this was an epic sequence. And probably one of my favorite sequences of the show. I mean, I love the entire thing, but it was like sick as frick, man. But I want to talk about just a tiny second my enjoyment for the show, not even playing the game, and what makes this a great adaptation. So I know there's various adaptations of this, various versions of the game, Fallout. I don't know how many there are. If you know, let me know in the comments below. And I'm genuinely interested in playing the game. Like I said, I played Last of Us before I watched the show, but this show I hadn't played the game. I didn't really have enough time or any like availability to. But like sometimes like I'm excited for the Borderlands movie, and that movie looks amazing. So, but this, like, my enjoyment of the show wasn't like, I'm bored, or like, I don't even understand what's going on. The little Pip-Boys on the wrist, I could follow along. My friend got mad at me because I didn't know what it was. Like, you're watching the show and you don't even know what it was. I've never played the game. I didn't have the memory, like, I was just watching the show. I was just invested, so I just kind of the name of it slipped out of my head. But I do know that the Pip-Boys are the things on your wrist, so I know that much. But like besides that, like I fell in love with the trailer, and going in, I'm like, I was really amped up for this series. So it did not disappoint me in any way, shape, or form, and I'm sure it did not disappoint any people of the Fallout of fans of the Fallout games. Because the only reason I'm saying that I'm a fan of the show, and this is why, because you go, oh, you can't be a real fan if you haven't played the game. No, that's not entirely true, because I'm a fan of good stories of movies and TV, and this is one right here. So, for all of you people that are whining and complaining that for me and others, like I am not the only human being on this planet that has not played the game and watched the show. Because if that was the case, they would not have made the show. Because they don't just go, everybody that's played the game has to watch the show. No, that's not true at all. So anyway, I just kind of think that that's not a lame, I think that's a lame excuse, but I still loved it. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't people out there that watch the show and went, this isn't, like, that haven't played, like, for people that haven't played the game and watch this and go, that's not for me. That's entirely fine. It's all subjective. You don't have to like it. If this isn't your jam, whatever. But, I knew that watching the trailer, I'm like, this is for me. And another thing I love about, Walton Goggins' character, the Ghoul, is that, by the way, the ghouls, there's like different versions of them that look crazy, by the way. Oh, and there's another sequence I have to talk about. But Walton Goggins, the Ghoul, he makes a point, he makes a statement in one episode where he's like, I dress up as a cowboy for a living. And he acts in the montage, or in the flashbacks and stuff, he is acting as a cowboy. And then 200 years later, he's like a cowboy ghoul. So I think it's cool that he's playing like the character he was in the show, in like what he used to be as a real person, and now he's a ghoul, like going around acting as a cowboy. It's so sick. It's so good, and I love it. It's just great storytelling, in my opinion. Like I like the back and forth, the way the transition, and I love it a lot. So I think this is a great adaptation, in my opinion. Just it works for me. I think that the video game stories, adaptations in movies and live action, movies and TV have gotten really good since. I mean, Uncharted was. I never watched it, but I heard it was. But they're getting good. They're getting some good footing. So another sequence I did really like was when Lucy. When the ghoul, Walton Goggins' ghoul, made her go into this place where the robot, it was the friend of Walton Goggins in a flashback, and then you see him, it wasn't Hank, because Hank was the finale, the one friend of Walton Goggins, and he's like, the robot, and he's like, the robot's like, I'm gonna cut you open, Lucy, and then you see, the guy in Free Guy who's eating the licorice, he's in this scene too, and they're sitting on the couch like, cut her open, and then Lucy just beats up everybody, goes out, runs away, and then the ghoul comes in and sees everybody like, oh shoot. It was just a great sequence, great cinematic, great action sequence. The action in the show is really good. I love the way they shot everything, but the finale was crazy, guys, because in the penultimate episode, the ending scene of by the way, there's some scenes in this show, like I was watching episode 7, I was like, okay, it's got to be ending soon. It's got to be ending. It's got to be ending. And I'm like, it keeps going. I'm like, every time I think it's ending, it's not. That's how good they make this show. Like, every time you think it's over, it's not, and there's something else. And I loved it. And the same thing with episode 8, the last episode. I was like, okay, they ended it here. No, there's one more, like, minute left. It was just crazy. But the finale... Lucy takes the real head. Maximus takes a different head to lie about it to the other knights. And Lucy has the head, finds her dad, and then all the knights come in on airships, and is like, attack, war, like there's missiles. They're basically, Lucy's in this observatory, and like, there's like this, observatory from Megamind, there's these two things that open up, there's these two domes that open up, like, just shooting like the Millennium Falcon missiles just coming out. I'm like, dude, this is so sick. I was loving it, and, I'm loving it. But I just felt so happy, like, to see this epic finale, and there's just, like, dialogue about who her dad really is, who worked with Walton Goggins, the ghoul, 200 years ago. We're learning more and more. And Moldaver's there trying to get this code for the cold fusion. And at the end, she gets the cold fusion working, so the whole place, the whole city lights up. And Maximus is there. Basically, Lucy's mom is now a ghoul. She's sitting there, but she dies, or she gets killed by Lucy herself, because the ghoul, Walton Goggins' ghoul, is like, come with me. I'll tell you who your dad really is. Or come with me if you want to learn more. We'll go find your dad. So she goes along with the ghoul, Walton Goggins' ghoul, and Maximus is there, and all the other knights run up to him, and the one next to Maximus was like, who's it? By the way, I don't know if that character in the finale was a guy or a girl that was talking to Maximus, but she goes, or the character goes, I don't know if it's he or she, but the character goes, you killed her, you killed Moldaver, like, and he's like, no, you don't understand. He's like, all hail King Max, all hail, not King, all hail Knight Maximus, all hail Knight Maximus. So, it was that was a great moment, and then, like I said, I thought that was the ending, but there was one more scene where you see Ella, or two more scenes, actually. One where Lucy and the one Gaga's ghoul are walking up the hill, and you see the Hollywood sign light up, and then you see the dad, Lucy's dad, in the knight armor, walking towards the sunlight. Oh, it was such a good shot, like the sunset shot, where his face looks burned. I wasn't sure if he was becoming a ghoul or sunburned or what. And then he's just walking off, and then that's how the show ends in the sunset. So it was a great shot. And I love the show. I can't get over this. I love all the end credit music, and the end credits, like the silhouettes or like the picture images. Whoa, they were so good. I love watching those types of end credits, not just the rolling credits, but then I get a little glimpse of that. But like, oh, it's so good. I can't get over the amount of, I think, passion. And Jonathan Nolan wrote this series, by the way, or directed it, which is Christopher Nolan's brother. He did a great job. Jonathan Nolan did a great job. Everybody that worked on the show, I feel like, knew what they were doing. I can't say enough good things. Everything I've said just means a lot. Like, even though I never played the game, it means it's just the fact that I'm saying all this because it's a good story. I like good stories. We had Invincible, was really good. This is really good. Guys, whoever is out there complaining that we don't have good content, I don't have anything good to watch. This wasn't good. This isn't my Marvel. This isn't my story. Yes, I understand Marvel's not doing so well. Yes, I understand Star Wars isn't doing so well. I understand that. But, oh dear, we don't have anything good. Go watch Invincible. Go watch Fallout. Go watch Dune 2. Who complained about Dune 2? One person. I heard some guy on the internet was like, oh, I hated Dune 2. The Hans Zimmer score was terrible. What are you talking about? Now we have Civil War, which I'm going to watch Civil War tomorrow, so I cannot wait to share with you my thoughts on that one. But yeah, my Civil War review will come out tomorrow, not the day of this recording, but the day of this upload, which I know YouTube time travel is crazy. But anyway, my Fallout review, the future of Fallout. I'm just excited. I don't really know what to talk about the future. Because I don't never played the game, so I don't know there's more. I know more about the future of the Last of Us show than this one, but I'm excited to see more of it. Decided to see more how Lucy and the ghoul work together, and see the future of Maximus, Knight Maximus. So we'll see. We'll find out. Yeah. And my rating on this one, not to be biased, I don't want to give it a 10. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. I feel like if I get it a 10 out of 10, people will just think, oh, you're stupid. But I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Maybe it's a 9 out of 10. Why not? By the way, the underground, like, I didn't talk a lot about the underground, the Vault Dwellers. The guy at the end, when he's just there, he's like, you're gonna kidnap me in this spot. The little, I think it was the little, well, Hank was the guy that worked with Walton Goggins, but the little robot was like, I'll just keep you here. So, that was interesting. I understood everything in the vault, but, like I was a little, like I said, I understood everything, but I was expecting more, because you know how people moved throughout the vaults, like the Vault 31, 32, 33, and then he just kind of wanders off and goes there, like, nobody really knew where he went, so I don't know, it's okay. I felt like that was a little bit underwhelming, but everything else I really liked, so 9 out of 10, Fallout Season 1, so 9 out of 10 for me. I hope we get more of it. I wouldn't see why not. I don't doubt that we're not going to get another season. So, that's my thoughts. Nah, that's my rating. Let me know what you thought of the first season of Fallout on Amazon Prime. Be sure to check it out. If you don't have Prime, get Prime. I recommend it. If you don't have Prime because you don't have a Prime account, I don't know. I don't know how people when do streaming in Prime and whatever, and I'm flinging my hands around now. Be sure to check out videos popping up on the screen right now. Thank you so much for watching this video. Leave a like if you did enjoy it. Subscribe to my channel, LegoDude11. Follow me over Boba Fett Jedi Master. Links down below on Instagram. Stay tuned for my Fallout review coming to Fallout reviews right now. You're watching that. My Civil War review will come out tomorrow. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, follow me. Don't forget to keep calm, play, go, watch stuff. Peace out, everyone. Bye.